All right, ladies and gents, welcome back. Welcome back. Don't Shoot the Messenger YouTube show. It's your boy C Pizzle, along with my dog Rashad, and my two lovely co-hosts, Brady V and
Hey
Blake.
y'all.
Blaze and Nessa, the serial dater.
What's up, y'all?
Hey,
What's
hey,
going
hey.
on? Did y'all check out the BET Awards? You see, they just gave I think they gave Busta Rhymes like some kind of like lifetime achievement, or they gave him some kind of award. Um, what stood out to me the most was he was giving a speech. He was like, man, I kind of want to cry. Like he was like showing his emotions and everything like that. And how he started
Mhm.
off at 17 with leaders of the new school, got kicked out, how he was going to support his kid. But he like, I'm always for the new school. We need to stop with all this, that narrative, the directors of these labels or whatever, and you stop pushing the narrative that we don't fuck with each other, we don't get along. He was like, we do. He said, I like all the new music. I like seeing the Ice Spices and all these people, even the old school Nas. He's like, I like everybody. We need to stop, they need to stop just advertising the people who rap about how much drugs I done sold or how much drugs I could use, and all the booty shaking and still good music too. And, but I like it all. I respect it all. But, he was just like basically talking about how, we get portrayed as black people or, you know, the way the culture is portrayed, the minorities of music and how we can only, we only gonna make money if we're, being ghetto, pretty much, representing good. And instead of like when we talk about some stuff that matters, because I mean, if you look at someone like J. Cole, he never like really fell off. But once he moved away from his commercial music that he started off with and then went to more conscious music, his buzz or his relativity ain't really the same. So every once in a while you hit us with like a banger, you know what I'm saying, that they will play in the club, but he don't get the same kind of shine. But then when you got all this
Little
Chicago
baby.
drill, Detroit
Yeah,
drill,
drill.
New York drill, everybody talking about all the negative stuff, then it's like, oh man, that's the only thing that gets pumped through the media. And it's like, how black people are always portrayed on TV. Like even, you know, I think what's really messes us up the most is reality TV. I don't watch it. I call it brain pollution. I hate it because black people already got a certain stigma. If you're a man, you're a thief, you're a gangster, you selling drugs, don't walk behind me, you might try to snatch my purse. Let me open the door for the black man so you could walk through first because I don't want you behind me. Or like black women, you already got the stigma of, oh, my attitude and everything. So then they get black people to get on TV and do these reality TV shows and they staging it. Like all that reality TV is scripted. So now you
Yeah.
scripted and you like, black people want money. So what do we do? You know, we like Mr. Bojangles. We shuck and jive for a couple dollars. You know what I'm saying? We cooning. You know what I'm saying, so to speak. So it's just I hate the way black people are portrayed in the media. How do y'all feel about it?
I agree. I agree. And it's actually very sad and it's very unfortunate that that's what's getting pushed. I mean, y'all know I don't know if y'all know, but to let you know, I'm somewhat of a conspiracy theorist myself. So I feel like there's an agenda behind it. I mean, and it's not even really like I feel like it. I don't have the exact documents and I don't have the exact, reads on it, but there's studies, it's well documented that there is an agenda, for Black people. So, and it has been for years. So it's not really surprising. It's sad. But I'm not devastated or shocked, not at all. Yeah. And it's very unfortunate. It really is, and it's getting worse. It's getting worse because even think about like remember shows like A Different World, Martin, Moesha, Living Single, Family Matters. Like those were still dope ass shows, and they weren't nerdy or corny. Like we don't have nothing like that anymore. Nothing like that anymore. Even reality shows, they could still do a wholesome reality show. I mean, if there are any, I don't know about them because again, I don't watch reality TV either, so I don't really know. But you know, and it's very unfortunate because even with us having shows like that, look how we turned out. We ain't all the best, and we had good examples, you know. So just imagine these kids with none of those types of examples.
Yeah,
it's very sad. It's very sad.
What about you, Rashad? You watching?
Rashad, why you sitting there looking like Mona Lisa's dad?
Still and stuck. What's up?
I just got a lot. I got a lot going on. We're supposed to do this Tuesday, so I got people hitting me up all over the world right now. So I'm trying to read and look and pretend like I'm paying attention. So no. When it comes to entertainment media, we kind of do it to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We don't have any. There's no accountability within the Black community. Sorry, it's just what it is. We got these unwritten rules that are designed by niggas. You know what I'm saying? And not all of us are niggas. So
designed by niggas.
It's designed by niggas, you know. So it could be designed by the government. It could be designed by outside people who are not conscious to us, like certain communities we know. I ain't gonna say it because I don't want to get kicked off YouTube or whatever. But ultimately, we have to have some type of structure and order in our own homes and raise our kids a certain way to be conscious enough to understand what they do really comes back to us, not maybe to you, but to our community and our people. So we really do it to ourselves. And we can't keep pointing the finger at nobody and talking about, you know, it's their fault, the reason why we are the way we are. There's plenty of good quality Black people in this world.
Absolutely.
But and there are networks and shows that may be, I would say, close to being good, like the good old Family Matters and the Full House and all these, or not Full House, but all the other Black shows and stuff like that. Different World and stuff like that, but they're not being shown. You got a man named Tyler Perry, right? He got all the money, got his own studio and all that, but he's pumping out stuff that I wouldn't do, I wouldn't agree with, but it's just like drama, men dressing up as women. It's pollution, really. I mean, it's entertaining. We're gonna watch it. We love to be entertained by a lot of this madness, but we doing it to ourselves. If we want something changed, it starts with us, the kids.
How do you guys feel about like speaking of what's his name? You just said it.
Tyler Perry?
Tyler Perry, like
Tyler Peasy.
Huh?
Said Tyler Peasy.
As far as him and other people like making movies about like our trauma, like is that something that everyone's like, okay, we're over seeing those type of things, or those type of movies need to continue to be shown?
I'm good with it because to me, I was having this conversation with the homie about Tyler Perry. He's like, man, but his characters, they don't have super depth. We don't really have to really dive into them and stuff. Like it's kind of, it is what it is with them. And his movies, they're not like anything that he writes, and he doesn't take any creative critique from anybody else and this and that. I said, well, you got to think about it. One, Tyler Perry knows his audience, right? So he started off doing these plays that he wrote, produced, directed, and everything himself. Got big enough to where he got the funding to do movies. Invested his own money in building his own studio. Why let someone else come in and mess with my brand? If you're Tyler Perry and this is your brand, and his brand is Black feel-good films, he portrays the Black families and he shows the Black families going through hardships, but there's always a silver lining in the end. It's always something that brings back around, it brings family together, or no matter what was going on, Bow Wow in that one film got arrested and everything, but they got him out. And we gonna have his family dinner, you know, like soul food. We gonna have his family dinner. So if this is his niche and he wants to make good, feel-good films for the Black family, and also his target audience is mostly women. So he understands what his target audience is and how he's going to be successful. I have no problem with what Tyler Perry does. If he wants to dress up like Madea because can't nobody play Madea like Tyler Perry can play Madea, play Madea. Like, you know, you got to understand there's you can go to Lee Daniels if you want a Precious. You can go to Lee Daniels. if you want to, what movie was that Tyler Perry was in that Lee Daniels produced? He produced several films and Tyler Perry was in it. Like Tyler Perry plays different type of roles, like Cross and other things in other people's films. When he does his films, this is the kind of stuff, and this is my brand, and I don't want, Pepsi has his brand, Coca-Cola has his brand. I don't want anyone else interrupting my brand and what I'm doing. So no, I don't have any problem with what Tyler Perry does. 'Cause I don't think he's necessary. It's an exploitation of the black community to a degree because you're exploiting what happens, but he gives you, that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or Family Matters, like that soul food, that family connection in the end, and a family, like look at the name of the film, The Family That Prays Together, or whatever. Like you got a lot of things that he just brings back around and you get the essence of it, my opinion. So no problem with what Mr. Perry does.
Yeah, you can give the community poison if you're giving them backpacks and turkeys every Thanksgiving. You're good.
Is he? But is what he doing poisonous?
Backpacks and turkeys. While the rest of the year you're giving them poison.
Well, what I'm trying to say is, how is it poisonous? Because
I'm just kidding with you, man. We all have our different ways of.
No, I know, but like when some people have a problem with it, I'm like, his film is not full of sex and pornography and booty shaking and the exploitation. Like it's not in-depth drug dealing going on to kind of empower that. Because when you look at rap music and all that, that's more of I'm giving out poisons. But Jay-Z rapped about selling crack, and I like Jay-Z's artists. Don't get me wrong, there's no shots at him, but the music that we have heard from him, but then every year he passes out turkeys at Marcy. That to me is a more accurate comparison. What Tyler Perry does, he's not really giving us no poison. He's showing us the dilemma and then showing us the deliverance from it, or that you can triumph over it, So I feel like he's giving Black people quality television to watch while exploiting and making money off of it versus, 5-year-4 or something talking about all this killing and everything, and then going back to Brooklyn and passing out turkeys to the young people and trying to inspire them, but you making music for them to go ride to. That to me, that's the difference. But even boys in the hood, you can go to what's my dog's name? John Singleton, whatever, that wrote The Boys in the Hood and several Black films. I mean, that was more in depth of the gangster, gang banging, whatever's going on. People got killed, but you know what? It showed the people that stayed in the hood, and it showed Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character that went and did the right thing, and he had a good father that taught him the right way. He got out the car, he didn't go kill nobody, and he ended up at Morehouse. Girl ended up at Spelman. And though he lost his best friend, he didn't let the streets take him down. As long as it loops back around and it has a good ending and you can see the silver lining in the situation, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I think you made a good point when you brought up that he knows his target audience. Tyler Perry's not targeting the youth. It's for older Christian women, Black women. You know what I mean? Like, his films have a very targeted audience. I wouldn't say old women, but older, definitely above our age group, I think, is where he kind of focuses on. And that's cool, but those people, his demographic, they're set in their ways. They know what they know. Yeah. They believe what they believe. We need somebody for these younger kids, our age and younger, with those types of stories. And I mean, the music, I don't know. I could go on forever. It's the music, really, to me. I mean, I know most kids younger than us, they don't even watch TV or movies for real. It's the phones, it's the social media. Yeah. My daughter, she's 13. I don't think she's turned her TV on in the past year. Seriously, she's in a room right now. Her TV's not on. So it's really, social media, YouTube, and the music is where the kids are. The youth anyway are getting their media, their entertainment. So that's what I think we'd have to watch out for. We're already who we are. We're already set in our ways. It's these kids, man. That scares me. It scares me. It's scary.
Yeah.
But like you said, we just have to instill those values. You can't let TV raise your kids and then be mad at how they turned out. So that's what's.
I mean, I agree, and like I said, I mean, his target audience is, it's feel good films. That's what they are. They're feel good films, got comedy in it, make you laugh. If you an older Christian church lady, got the TV on while you in the kitchen cooking and making something, and there's movies you've been seeing a million times, can watch a few times and laugh at the same little stuff, and you know what I'm saying, you don't really have to pay attention to it because you know what's happening, and the family's over, y'all just kicking it, talking, and the movie's playing, and you glimpsing at it. Like, those are his films, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want something way more in depth, go watch some Sean Singleton or Lee Daniels or something like that. That'll spark something more serious. You have your people for that. But I mean, like I said, it hits on a lot of things. One thing I do notice, especially when you have the films, and it's always like even Bow Wow's character and what he was going through, what his baby mom was putting him through, and trying to survive as a black man in the world, and he was the youngest, and he didn't really have nobody over him, and like it kind of goes into like his mental health, right? And it's always like nobody ever really takes time to look at the black man's mental health. We just got to come here and be kings. We got to be warriors. We got to be protectors. We got to be providers. We got to be anything and everything, fathers, boyfriends, husbands. We have to stretch ourselves so thin, and then nobody really cares. Like we can't never be vulnerable. You get it today, it's like, oh yeah, women want to see you be vulnerable, but do you really want to see us be vulnerable without being judged? You know what I'm saying? Like, God forbid a man cry, right? Unless somebody died, It's just, for me growing up, I guess maybe that's that toxic masculine side. It's like, men don't cry. We just crying. They never did nothing for nobody. Never solved no problems. You got to just be tough all the time. You got to be able to really just, power through everything. Meanwhile, what you're going through internally, nobody seems to care about, because especially in relationships, if it's always me, what everybody else want, and something that someone brought up, Dorelli brought it up on Facebook. He was like, should the man eat first? And I'm like, biblically, yeah, you should. And even like if you the head of the house, you the breadwinner, you the provider, protector, and everything, you gotta be strong. Why would I not eat first? Why would a woman not prepare the king if he sits at the head of the table? Why would you not prepare his meal first? But the black man, he laughs on the totem pole. You're gonna fix the kids a meal first, and then you're gonna fix it for him when he the king. And he gotta be strong. Yeah, look at the look on your faces. Nobody care about the black man.
No. Oh, I didn't even get to say what I was
I
going to
was
say.
smiling though. I could already read you.
That I actually agree with that theory. Okay, I agree with that theory. The head of the household, king of the table. I get that in theory, but in reality, when you cook, you lay the plates all out, and you just pass them out. Whoever's cooking, it's not really okay. At 10:06, you get yours. At 10:07, you get yours. It's not like that. It's
No, but
really not.
if the family's sitting at the table and you made the plates and you go to pass them out, why wouldn't the king get his plate first? Especially if the king sits at the head of the table.
From someone
who should be walking in the kitchen and grabbing plates off the counter. If we have a family dinner, we should be sitting there. The food should be being brought to you, right? Ain't that how it should go?
Is that how you?
That's so minuscule. Yeah, that's every household is different. Yeah. People get home at different time. That's too.
No, I'm saying if you having that's you changing the scenario. If we having family dinner, not who people getting home at different times. Yeah, if you prepare this plate because you got to go and be at work, and he getting home later, but you prepared this plate, left it in the microwave, that's not what we talking about. We talking about if we having family dinner and people's passing out the plates, and the man should eat first. He should be respected. He should be honored first, and biblically, if the man's supposed to come first in the household, right? But they put the children ahead of them, and
No, I agree with that. Like I said, I agree with that in theory. I definitely agree with that in theory. To have something to compare it to, like also biblically, a woman should not work or wear pants. Like practically, like come on. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of the same.
who said a woman shouldn't wear pants? Muslims?
No, that's in the Bible. You're not supposed to wear different garments. You're supposed to wear one garment, all of it made of the same cloth as a woman. And you're supposed to adorn your head with a headpiece at all times, especially in the church. That's all in the Bible. But that's what I'm saying. People pick and choose what to use out of the Bible. So it's not even, I mean, like I said, in theory, I actually agree with you. Yes, in theory, head of the household, man eats first. Like if we were like doing a play and it was supposed to be, the name of the play is The Perfect Family Roles, or, if you're in health and science class, the perfect way to set the table. Yes, I agree. The man should be first. But practically it don't even be that serious. It really in real life. But again, to bring it full circle, I do agree that the man is the head. I definitely agree. But one thing I've noticed in today's society with us younger people who are like kind of in our age group, 30s going a little bit older, we pick and choose even what traditional roles we want to follow.
Yeah.
Because traditionally, like I said, yeah, the man should be fed first. He is the, head of the household. But then also traditionally, shouldn't he be the breadwinner? Shouldn't he be taking care of any and all bills and wants and needs of the family, and one family vacation a year and picket fence? And you see how I'm saying? In
So
theory, it's one way.
are we talking about? Well, no, because now you're getting into you're putting different stipulations on it. So being a breadwinner or being the head of the household doesn't necessarily mean I'm just the only person that works to be the breadwinner. But even then, being the protector, provider, and he's providing, he's protecting, and he's giving himself, he's leading, right? He's doing all these things, vacations and all this extra shit. Those are stipulations that those are wants, not necessities. A man's providing the necessities. You guys are, today's world has put in different stipulations of what a man needs to do, even though he's already doing all these other things, from leadership to providing to protecting to all that shit. So all these extra things that people are putting in, now you're making it harder for the man to even do these things. And then the modern day women, you got to get back to that. Modern day women want these things. That's a modern day thing. Vacations and all that shit. The housewife drove a van and was a soccer mom and was at home with the kids, getting the homework done, taking them to practice and XYZ. The modern day today's women will go out, happy hour with their friends, want to shop and do all these extra things. That's why the women work. Because we're not talking about the man providing what's the necessities. You're talking about the wants. But even at the end of the day, like I said, with all these things, the man's mental health still isn't cared about, because everybody only talks about what they want from the man. Meanwhile, what about what he needs? Does he get what he needs? A little bit of sex? That's, everybody, most women think, well, he's got me. I'm this prize. I'm good looking. Sex. I mean, what do you think, Rashad? From a black man's perspective, what am I missing out?
No, sex and good and beauty is not enough for any man. I wouldn't say that for solid, real man. Beauty and sex is not really. That's just a plus. That's nothing. Can't do too much. That don't feed our soul, our spirit, our role as a man, right? What a man needs to be respected. Okay, if a man don't have respect, all hell gonna break loose. It ain't gonna be. It's not gonna be a pretty scene. But yeah, I don't really have too much. I just, everybody has their ways of running a family. We got all kinds of new things going on. We got old ways versus the new ways. Whatever works for you, make it work. That's all I can say.
But definitely a man has to be respected. That's number one. And if a man's not respected, like, they always say happy wife, happy life. But if the husband's unhappy and he's unhappy in his soul and he's supposed to be the leader, you ain't gonna have no happy life if he's unhappy, because if his spirit isn't right, how can he lead you in the right way? So now the whole family going down the wrong path.
I definitely
But
agree.
but
So,
but here's the thing though. The trade-off is yeah, we have to have respect, but the women have to have attention and love. You know what I'm saying? And if we don't give them the attention that they need and the love they need, how can they give us the respect?
so let me ask you, is that what men are looking for in a relationship to keep themselves straight? Is it respect, or what does a woman need to have for you to be happy in a relationship? What internal qualities?
I think that a woman is her supposed to be nurturing, right? Because men, we nurture too. We probably do a lot more nurturing than you think, right? Because
Huh?
we're always no, I mean seriously. I mean, especially even with children, when you're protecting and you're consoling, we have to console a lot. Not no, that's just what we naturally have to do. We have to console a lot. But we want to be nurtured as well. So women needs to be always respectful, appreciative, and nurturing. I seen a video. I don't know, did we send it in the chat or did someone send it to me? And a woman was just saying, I think my homie might have sent it to me. And a woman was sitting on the couch and her husband was sitting behind her at the table. And she was just like, I just want to let you to know how much I appreciate you. How I wouldn't be able to do this, and this, and this, and all these things without you, like basic stuff. But I wouldn't be able to drive the car I drive. Me and the kids wouldn't be able to do this, the practices, the da 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 da, everything that you provide for me and this family. And she just ran down so many things.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And she
I wish
had,
I could say
and
that to somebody.
Yeah. So
that's
actually,
what I'm saying.
I
She,
just recently. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's what I'm saying. She had my man's like almost like because he wasn't expecting it, almost like an emotion, right? She almost had him in like tears, like breaking down, and she got her big ass up off that couch. She was a bigger woman too. Got her big ass up off that couch and walked around the couch, walked up to the table and hugged them and was like, I just want to let you know. And a man needs that. A man needs to be feel appreciated on top of respected. He needs to feel appreciated. He needs to, after we go off and be in this rough world, need to come home to some appreciation, some affection. They always say men not affectionate, but we don't get no affection. We don't get that kind of attention. It's always, did you do this, and that? So I'm just saying.
Yeah, so I was having a conversation with my coworker the other day, male coworker, and we were just talking about how nowadays how things are crazy. So I was having a conversation with him and I was letting him know how much I appreciate him and that he's helped out tremendously, with the teen program and everything. And he was like, he was having a conversation with me about a conversation he had with his fiance and was saying, why do some women appreciate us and tell us these great compliments off of the basic needs, right? And I was like, well, unfortunately, not a lot of men are portraying that. Like, they're not like that. You're speaking more so of how it's supposed to be. So you're speaking more so of like a perfect situation. So a man is supposed to lead, a man is supposed to provide, a man's supposed to X, Y, and Z, a woman's supposed to do this, a woman's supposed to do that, but that's in a perfect world. And unfortunately, that's not necessarily the world that a lot of people live in. And I can't speak for myself. I don't have a family. I don't have kids. I don't have a spouse. I don't have any of those things. But speaking to people who are in those situations, that's not the case. And it's more so the men that are failing to be the leaders that they're supposed to be. So how are you supposed to continue to nurture someone who is not being a leader? So it's like it's just the world that we're living in right now. And yes, you can go and say, oh yeah, well, you got to do a better job with picking a better man or picking a better woman. But when you're in a relationship with someone for 20 years and they're acting like this now, like, you can't really say that. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong, but I'm just saying, like, realistically, that's not the world that most people are living in nowadays. And it is a bit tough to just leave when kids are involved, marriage is involved, and all those things. But anyways, I said all that to say that he was asking me why was I complimenting him so much, and I was like, I just want to let you know I appreciate you because not a lot of people have the same passion that I have. And coming from a male perspective, having a male heavy teen group, I feel like this is what's needed, especially because I work with military. So a lot of these boys' parents are deployed. So they're not getting that because when they do come, they're the disciplinary as opposed to being that nurturer. So that's why I'm like, when you said that, I was like, ooh, I don't know, because not a lot of people are like that, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, okay, your kids fall down on the ground and they got a boo-boo.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we're gonna kind of be like, come on, get up and this and that, but we still gonna nurture you. We're gonna tell you it's okay though. And we're gonna, kiss the boo-boo if we need to. We're gonna rub it, we're gonna do whatever we gotta do, but tell you it's all right. You ain't bleeding, you ain't dying. But we still gotta do some nurturing. But I don't feel like, yeah, in a perfect world, but I don't feel like it's too far. I feel like there's plenty of relationships that go on every day where people who have a man that takes care of the rent. People who has a man that pays some bills and all kinds of things. And are they really
Right.
appreciated?
Individual.
I'm just saying, but are they really appreciated? I got homies that got a lot of chicken, right? And I watch certain things that they go through sometime, and I be like, man. And I always tell my homies, like, because they're front to bill on a lot of things, like a lot of things that regular people just can't do all the time. And sometimes they be looking around, or like their situation be getting frustrated, and it's like, they do a lot of things because they want everybody to be able to enjoy it, right? And even as a friend, like I tell them straight up, just know, if don't nobody appreciate you, I appreciate you. I see sometimes what they go through with their girlfriends or their wives, and the entitlement is there. Ask them to do something, they don't want to do it. Here, let me just Uber Eats. Let me just order this. But I wanted you to go to the store and go do this so we can get this shit done faster, not 4 hour windows and shit like that. And it's like, man, you see men provide so much for their women. I just know too many people. And then they just feel like, oh, that's my husband. He just got to. He's supposed to. But shouldn't you still make him feel like he's appreciated? Y'all remember,
Absolutely.
y'all remember my dog Tim? He's been on the show with us, and he's married. And sometimes he be having his moments in his time. He like, man, people don't realize how good they got it. I pay the bills, and you just take your money and spend it on whatever, right? And that's fine.
Niece.
And that's fine. But where's my? But then when people get used to things, it's
Take
expected.
it for granted.
It's
Right. Oh, for
expected.
sure.
It's a
For
natural
sure.
thing.
For
What I'm
sure.
saying is women they might appreciate it in the beginning. You might feel like it's appreciated, but we all got to be cognizant and bring it all back. Because when a man feel unappreciated, he gonna do some shit. He gonna do what he want to do. He
Right.
gonna be
No
like,
matter.
you know what? They don't appreciate me at home anyway.
Right.
I don't want to go home.
Right.
And I think so many times we just don't even like us to stop and send a nice text and be like, you know what? And like I said, I do it as a friend to some of my homies, like, you know what? Hey, I might be the only homie that hits you and be like, you know what? I really appreciate that today. That was dope, or I appreciate the experience. I might not never get on a private yacht and be able to rent out a private yacht in my life, but I appreciate you, you know what I'm saying, for like out even including me in this and XYZ. Because people want to feel like they're not doing it for the cloud. They're not doing it because they want to be praised. But at the same time, people still want to be appreciated. And
Right.
you know,
Right.
thank you.
Mhm.
Anybody can, oh, you bought dinner, good looking, my nigga. But is that really like that's basic? Is that really like appreciation? Like, do you go out of your way to reciprocate it? And I just feel like for Black men's mental health, a lot of times people don't double back. Like Rashad always talk about, they ain't offered to buy me lunch. They ain't offer, we ain't get together again. They ain't offer to take me out. And a lot of women think, well, that's not the thing that we do for men. We don't pay for men. Men pay for us.
And let me tell you, if a woman likes you, they don't mind spending the bread.
There you
Yeah,
go.
bread in little ways anyway.
Yeah.
Like it's like I said, there's in theory and then there's practical. Like
Yeah.
in theory, okay, yeah, the man pays for everything. But let's say let's really take it like reality. You go on a date, right? And you gotta pay for parking. Hey, you got some cash? Oh, here's $10 for the parking. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be like, no, you're the man. Where's your $10? You know, like here's $10. Here, yeah, sure, pay for parking. You know what I mean? Or we go get a drink. Oh, damn, I left my credit card in the car. You know, well, sure, I'll pay for it here. You know, that's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna be like, oh, well, go to the car and go get your credit card. You're the man. Like, you know,
But
like
you,
in reality.
you do know that a vast majority, it would probably be accurate saying a vast majority of women behave that way.
That's crazy. That's absolutely absurd.
So
That's
you tell me,
absolutely
out of
absurd.
all the homegirls and friends you got, you don't think that most women are more entitled and expecting than I'm gonna.
Not this end. That's why I'm saying, because like, so I can't relate to what you're saying about men, because the women that I know that are married, these are not just baby daddies. This is like they're in a full-blown marriage, kids living together, been together for years. Like the men are trash. The only thing they are providing is paying the bills.
Oh.
Actually, one of them is not, but he's retired and everything. So they're just so like it's sad.
But you know what's crazy? For me, being on the outside looking in and being around a lot of situations, women are biased to other women. That's number one. Men, we black and white. We gonna tell it how it is. Women are biased to other women. They do not show and tell what really be going on or even how someone got that way. Like even
That's not true.
this chick came into my office today, right? This chick came to my office today and she was talking about she wants to get off the lease. She's only been staying there 3 months. She wants to get off the lease. She moved in with her boyfriend or her fiance and now they're breaking up, right? And I'm like, oh, well, what did you do? Oh, I cannot say I didn't do. In every situation, you got accountability. I watch. I got a homie, and you know, he got a girlfriend, and her girlfriend comes around, comes in town, comes around, and all this shit. And then she only sees things being a certain way with my homie and his girl, but she doesn't see everything that I see being around, and she only knows what her homegirl tells her. So while you thinking that dog might be all unfair to your homegirl or all kinds of XYZ shit, and she's playing this role because she's just entitled, and most of the time women and accountability, they don't go hand in hand and they don't accept what they really be doing. And so for you to be like, oh, this guy's just so bad, but people don't realize what happened to make that man get that way.
That's not always the case.
It's not always that, but a lot of the times a man starts off, like especially we extremely like loving creatures and like, we fall in love with a woman, we be falling hard, we press women hard, consistent, like really, and then as soon as somebody do something bad to us or break our little heart, shatter us, then it's like, oh man, we turn into this person. Oh, these bras be for the streets that like, they'll do us like this and that. So then niggas be like, fuck it, I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna do all kinds of shit. But nobody ever looks at, okay, what caused this trauma in him to be this way? And it's always a woman that caused that trauma for him to be this way. And
you said always. You cannot say that.
Well, men don't make men behave a certain way with women. Women make men behave a certain way with women, and vice versa. A woman could get stepped on enough to where now you see these women because it's not like women don't, but now you see these women who F niggas, I'm gonna do what I want, and they can't tell me what to do. I don't tolerate nothing from no man. Why is a woman saying that she don't tolerate nothing from no man? It's because she tolerated a lot of stuff from a man. I got a lady that works with me. Her husband, after all these years, daughters is grown up. She in her 60s. Husband left her for a woman that was younger, more attractive, XYZ. And now she's pretty much bitter with us at work all the time. Now she has a problem with male authority. She has a problem with, I think, she probably don't want to take any orders from men, right? She gives a hard time about all kinds of shit. She has to try to get the last word and everything. But you low level, you're not management. I say something, that's pretty much it. I mean, you can tell me something if you think that I need to know something, but I don't need you combating with me in all kinds of shit. Like, I'm not here to be combative with you. It's the reason why you're where you're at, I'm where I'm at, and I'm giving you directions. If it was the other way around, I would take your directions. But she just, she before I got there, she gave my other manager shit. He's a man. And we both, before he could tell me, we both came to the same conclusion. I talked to him about it. He's like, that's exactly the shit I've been dealing with. And it's like sometimes people, she's been burned. But if you anything like this, I see why he's not with you no more. You over opinionated. You got to have the last word. You don't respect male authority. And he probably was tired of it after y'all raised some kids. And when them kids was grown, he said, all right, I'm the fuck out of here. But you don't know, but a lot of times you don't know what pushed a man to that level. But this episode is about a black man's mental health, not women. We could dive into women's. That's easy. And a lot of that come from their mamas. That's easy. What your mama teach you is how you're gonna behave. And if you grow up with parents that behave in a certain stature, with a mom that think a certain way, that dealt with a bad man, and your daddy ain't around and he ain't shit. Oh man, how's she gonna grow up if you telling her your daddy ain't around and he ain't shit? He take what they say in the chronic, he take care of his real family. That's why that nigga ain't shit. He ain't here. He don't give a fuck about you. You can poison your children at a young age and they'll grow up poisonous. So I don't know. Mr. Rashad got a daughter. It's hard. It's hard having young daughters, and if the mom is not in a certain mental place, then you kind of fearful how they're gonna grow up. Am I wrong?
Yeah, you just all you can do is your part, right, as a man. And I believe children are resilient. They can see through a lot, but if they don't have any options or selections to listen to, they're gonna go with what they know. Sometimes the apple don't fall too far from the tree. But I would say, let's say if I did have a child's mom who is just a rotten apple, and I'm afraid that my daughter is going to become a rotten apple. The thing that I would do as a man is making sure my daughter is around successful, self-loving, self-driven women, so she can at least have the option to understand, do I want left or do I want right? Do I want red? Do I want blue? But whatever my daughter decides is what she's going to be. But me cultivating my daughter, I'm sure she'll make the right decision.
Yeah, you guide children along the way. You're like training wheels. They start to balance out. You just tip them off over a little bit and let them make their own choices. And there's different parenting styles, and maybe we can get into that in another episode. The helicopter parents, and I'm more of like the training wheels parent. I'm behind my daughter, watching her, and when she kind of starts, I just tip her back up. I kind of let her steer. So.
Yeah, it's rough, and you just watch, because my daughter, she kind of developed like her mom's attitude. Like she has maybe like my confidence to a degree, and she'll have my
wit,
forgiveness. She'll have my like we're both probably like people pleasers, and want to be helpful and XYZ, right? Compassionate, but then she'll have her mom's attitude and be blowing up in certain things. And it's like I try to explain to her, like, you can't control other people and their actions. You can't control your mom's actions. You can't control how she behaves. What you can control is how you behave. And I try to point out things not just from her mom, but just certain stuff. And it's like, listen, you choose to acknowledge certain things and you'll choose to go down that path, but you can always choose to let things go and be the bigger, smarter person, more mature person, XYZ, because, mental health is everything and you have to be careful in what you indulge in. So I try to limit the kind of stuff that she watches and she sees. But yeah, parenting from different households is tough. And you know, I wish I did have a great like woman figure, you know, in my life with me by my side that could help coach and she can see what this kind of love should be like, you know, how two people should love each other, how, you know, this person pours into me and I pour back into them and
Mhm.
pour into you and we
Yeah,
treat
it's important
each
for
other.
them to see. I feel like that about my daughter too. Like, damn, I wish she could see, like, you know, her dad is good, not great, but he's good, you know, but I want her to see the family unit. I think that's so important. And that's something that I struggle with actually. I kind of, it kind of saddens me that I'm not showing her that. You know, she gets to see it with grandma and grandpa, but I don't want her to think like, oh, that's an old people thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that kind of sucks. So I definitely feel you there. Definitely feel you.
Right. So key to Black men's mental health is respect, appreciation, head 4 times a week.
No, for real. Is that really a thing? No,
Head
be
four
serious,
times a
because
week.
I'm taking mental notes.
I mean,
Respect, appreciation.
I mean, you know, I think a man is somewhat driven by sex. I mean, it's not his motivation,
Right.
but he
That's
is
important.
a sexual being, you know.
Mhm.
So I think that, you know, part of his nurture not
Relaxation. Right.
nurturing that he needs is, you know, he wants to come home.
Please.
He wants to be nurtured with food, right? Food is nurturing the body. You know, once you eat, you feel good, especially you got a good meal cooked with love, right? Like I think meals cooked with love is a real thing, and you eat it and you appreciate it more. It's more felt, and it might taste better to you. Who knows? But after he gets a good meal, and you know, you show him that you really appreciate whatever he does, you know, all that stuff. You talk some good words of inspiration to him or anything like that, and then you know, get him some top. I think he'd be a happy camper. Go to sleep a happy camper. Any objections? Does the court have any objections? Say something silly so I could be overruled. But no, but I think we hit on it. You know, I had a lot of things. I've talked a little bit too much on this episode, maybe, but we had a lot of good things to share. But you know, we have to kick it off and get back in next week. We can get into women's mental health or why Eve bit that apple and you know tainted my nigga Adam. We get into that anytime. I'm always with it. But Alderman Davis, peace, love, and train.